For the cover, we have two chipboard pieces. Hey, it's Melissa Taylor with Web of Creativity, formerly known as Melissa Merritt. I got married last year, so my new name is now Taylor. Still makes the wonderful project, so thank you for tuning in to my new album. This is part of the Detachable Pages series. So this is a Detachable Pages mini album, and this is a double page. So there's 2 pages in this album, but they are thick pages. So we have 2 removable large pages. Now let's open this up. And here are our 2 big pockets. And then our pages are removable. So in the video, I'm going to show you how to make this page. And at the end of the video, I show you all the details with the second page. Let's go and show you what we're going to be making. And then note that the written tutorial is on my blog at www.webofcreativity.net. And that is listed below. The link is listed below. So we're going to open this up, and we have this nice little layout. So the first page right here is a trifold pocket. So we're going to open, so we have 3 flaps and then a pocket piece. The next section is an accordion album or an accordion page. I love sunflowers. The third section is a waterfall page. And then the fourth section is just a pocket. You can put more than 1 tag in here, but for now I just have 1 tag. And then we close this up, and it's so cute. And then we just put it right back in our little pocket section. So this is double pocket Detachable Pages mini album, and we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to make the cover first, and then we're going to go in and make the page, and then at the end I show you all the details of the second page. So if you wanted to copy what I did, you can. Okay, again, visit my blog for pictures and details and the tutorial, again at www.webofcreativity.net. Let's get started. For the cover, we have 3 pieces of chipboard, front and back cover and the spine piece, and then 2 pieces of cardstock to cover them. With the chipboard, I've already taped. You can add extra adhesive if you want to prevent any bubbling. And I'm going to use my ruler and attach 5/8 from the edge. A lot of people like to do a 1/2 inch. I like the extra space for myself. And remember that all the measurements are on the tutorial. Alright, once the first one's down, I do have 2 pieces of chipboard. That's going to be my spacing from the cover to the spine. Alright, so I'm going to hold my spacing piece and then line up my spine at the top and bottom. Make sure it's even, pressing into the 2 spacer. For my next piece, I'm only going to attach this side first. So I'm going to need some tape. I'm going to go across the edge. Just for the chipboard. Like so. I'm just checking my spacing. I'm going to hold my spacing. Make sure it's even at the top and bottom. Perfect. I'm going to flip over and we're going to add extra tape to the chipboard. And I'm going to chuck my paper. So I'm going to want a piece of tape across the edge of the paper. Flush against the edge all the way to the top and bottom. And that'll attach to this part right here. Perfect. Alright, so before we attach, we're going to put the ruler to measure our piece. Flip over. I do get my bone folder and just press it down to make sure it's all covered. Next, we'll add tape to the edges of our chipboard, skipping these gaps, and then running our bone folder around the edge. This is going to help fold the cardstock. Alright, I'm only doing 2 edges first, and then I'll do these 2. We need to trim our corners, and I left my cutting mat downstairs, so we're going to do it a different way, and that's measuring 1/8 and drawing a line. So we're going to do that on all of them, all the corners. And then take our scissors and trim the corner from the 1/8. If you're using a Tim Holtz ruler, the first dotted line is 1/8. So you see how much space we left, and we are going to tuck those corners in when we're done. Alright, then once I trimmed all the corners off, I added tape to the short edge. So for the long edge attaching, remember we used the bone folder to score, or a scoring tool. And then I'm going to run the flat edge of my Teflon tool across just to get it to fold nice before I remove the tape. I try and start in the middle so I don't make sure there's no bubbles. And then I'm going to go across it again, but this time skipping these gaps as I don't want to tear the paper. So I'm going to skip over, done. And then with the corners here, we will tuck in. So pretty much just pushing them inwards with our tool. So when this folds over, that corner will be nice and tight. So we're going to do that to all 4 corners and go ahead and attach this side. Now that we have all the corners tucked in, we're going to fold over this piece. And starting with the middle. And now we have a nice corner. So I added tape to both sides of the crease, stopping at the top and the bottom, and then I did a diagonal. This is to help bubbling, so when you close your album, that paper's not going to bubble at that crease. And then I just taped my cover here. I'm going to actually add extra adhesive using my ATG. So again, I'm going to add some extra adhesive. And then I'm going to attach 1/8 from the edge, from all the edges, top, bottom, and side. I got it a little crooked, but with it being black, you can't really tell. Oops. All right, and then I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to add some extra adhesive. And this is the same 1/8 from the top, bottom, and edge. Okay, we are now going to fold. You find that crease, and I'm just pushing it in to make sure that it goes in. And I'm doing this slowly. I don't want the paper to crack. I'm just stretching it out. There it is. So if the line pops up, just push it down. And there we go. And if you want to stretch it out, go for it. Okay, and that's our cover. For the closure piece, we have 3 pieces of chipboard and a piece of cardstock. If you don't want the closure on your album, you can go ahead and fast forward. This is also going to be 5/8 from the top, bottom, and side. So we'll attach our smallest piece first. Then we're going to grab our 2 pieces of chipboard that we used for the cover for our spacing. Put our spacing up and then make sure we're even. I just wanted to make sure it was even. There we go. And the same as we did for the cover, we're going to go ahead and go all the way around. And we're going to mark 1/8 from the corner. And cut it with the scissors. Okay, now that we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and fold using the bone folder just to get it a good fold. And like we did the cover, we'll fold over and start from the middle. When we run our bone folder across, we're going to skip the 2 gaps so we don't tear that paper. And then we're going to tuck in the corners. There we go. And then we're going to set this aside. We're going to work on, we're going to attach this to the back cover, but we do need to cover this front, but we need some magnets for placement. So we're going to hold off on that for just a minute. So next we're going to work on our pocket for our pages. So there's two ways to attach them. For the pocket, we can attach it to the wall, which is what I'm going to do in the video. Or you can attach it to the spine on the bottom. Here's my one with the spine. So it just sits straight up, or you can have it open like that. So this is the way we're going to do it right now. This is one. We're going to make a second one. So I have everything already scored, and I'm going to fold on the score lines. So we got score lines going both ways. Put two this way. You can see how it's coming together. And there we go. So we're going to trim these two guys. We're going to cut on these lines right here with our scissors up to this score line. And then I'm going to just trim a sliver. So yeah, just a sliver. Oh. The sliver is it's because this little piece is going to go on the inside. So I cut the sliver so when it's on the inside and we fold it, it doesn't stick out of when we're folding it. So let's trim this side. Alright, now we're going to add our tape to, we're going to flip it over, add our tape to the little tab, and then one side only. I've also added tape to one side. So I add the tape when we fold those in, and we're going to fold to attach, and then we're going to fold to attach. When the sides of the flap that's on this side is where we're going to put the tape on the large side. So we're going to have these flaps inward when we attach it to the album, so you can't see them on this side. So we're going to go ahead and attach. Alright, it's easier if you have it flat on the surface and then you pick this up at 90 degrees. I would go ahead and do both sides at the same time. So we're going to put this edge into this score line. And there we go. So the pockets are made out of cardstock. So if you're going to make them out of cardstock, you're going to want to make sure that it's a heavier version of cardstock. So this, I think, is like 85 pounds. A lot of cardstocks in the big box stores are only 65. You can also get 110 from the big box stores. So I would go higher than 65 just because it's going to be holding a heavy album and you don't want your paper to tear. We are going to reinforce it a little bit with the pattern paper, but you do want to make sure that this thing is sturdy. So we're going to go ahead and attach them to both sides of that album. I do have this zoomed in a little bit, so let me zoom that back out. So I did add a little extra ATG. When you do that, you just hold it in your hand and do it, so you have something to, so it doesn't go inward when you do it. So we're going to hold this at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to turn it so I can see it, but we're going to want it to have a little spacing on both sides, so it's going to be even. So making sure it's even. And hold it in place and make sure this is 90 degrees, and then I'm going to slide it on there. And then make sure it's even all the way around. Then I'm going to take my bone folder and go in and press down. We want to make sure that is good and attached. I'm going to repeat for the other side. And I'll show you with the ATG, I held it inside. You might not need it, but extra adhesive is never bad when it comes to things that are holding stuff that's heavy. I am going to close this just to take a look. Make sure my boxes are even with each other. And that looks perfect. I'm going to hold it straight up, push down. And then I'm going to go my bone folder and press down. For the matting, I do have some bead paper. I'm going to put that above the pocket. I have some yellow paper that's going to go in the middle. I cut these little squares out. And then I used a stub punch. And those are for the stickers. You got little bee stickers. And then we have, then I cut out a big mat, a strip mat, and again use that stub punch, and then a cutout, and that is from the paper collection. So that is how I have for this, and then some stickers there. So I'm going to go ahead and attach all of this off camera. And this is how it looks like all decorated and closed up. Alright, so the next thing is we're going to attach our back cover, and then we're going to attach our closure. So the back cover first, and then the front cover last. So we're not going to attach the front cover just yet. We're going to put magnets here, make sure that is working, and then we're going to cover it with our paper. So this does need to get covered with paper, but we do need our magnets. So we're going to go ahead and add some tape to this, and our back cover is just a yellow sheet. I've already cut it out, so we're going to attach it just like that. I have our back covered. I'm going to set that aside. And here's our little closure piece. And before we attach our paper on it, we're going to add our magnets to one side. So for the closure piece, I did add tape to both sides of that opening so it doesn't bubble when we close it. So just choose the side you want your front to be. And then I got 2 magnets. add some tape to them. I added tape. Okay. I'll put this right on the center. Now this is going to be a 1/8 inch border all the way around. I'm definitely trying to make sure, I know the magnets, you're going to see them a little bit, but only if you look hard. And we are going to cover this with some pattern paper. But I'm making sure those magnets have paper all the way around them. I'm going to fold it slowly. Make sure that bubble goes inside those seams. There we go. So again, we're going to attach right in the center. And then to the front. I'm still zoomed in. So we're going to add tape to this guy first. Okay, so we're going to fold this down and turn it. So this is so we can attach our piece. This wants to pop up. I'm just adding some weight using my ruler. And I'm going to do this off camera, but I'm going to show you on camera. This is so I can know where my placement is. And the reason I'm going off camera is because I want this to be 90 degrees when I attach it, and I need it to go off the table to do so. So I'm going to do off the table, and then we're going to go ahead and attach it right in the center. Next is our magnet placement. So this is all done. And we're going to need magnets. So for the magnets, I already put a piece of tape on there. But to make it a little bit easier for us, I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of paper. That's to help to keep the magnets down. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and close. Hold down. Make sure my page is flush, and I'm going to press down. I'm going to hold my paper, and it's going to make sure those magnets stay in place. And then I'm going to go ahead and give them a tape. All right, now we can cover the spine, the front cover, and the clasp. So we have these papers for the clasp. I have this for the inside, just yellows for the outside, and I cut out this dotted paper for the front here, and there's some cute bee arrow stickers that I'm going to add to it. And then for the cover, we have 2 front cover pieces. I have some strips that I cut out, and then I cut out these little tag pieces, and those are for the different tag pieces on here. So we got this Love and Be Kind, this Love and Be Loved, Be Kind, and then these sunflowers. So that is, I just trimmed them to match the design of the sticker. So I'm going to go ahead and get all that attached. Oh, and then the spine area is these pieces along with this Be Yourself sticker with the sunflower. Alright, I'm going to attach everything off camera and then show you when I get done. So here's the finished product. I have my cover, my stickers. Here's my little bee arrow. I added a sticker here. I put buzz sticker there. And then the spine. I'm going to wait until I finish everything before I put something on the back. For the page, we have 2 pieces identically scored. and they're going to be attached right like so. So we're just going to fold on the score lines. I'm going to show you a sample page I made with different paper, but this is the page. We have the one piece here and then the one piece here, and we're going to attach them together. So let's go ahead and fold on the score lines, and then I run my bone folder over the line. And then we're going to add tape to one of the flaps that we're going to attach to the other flap. Add tape to the 1-inch flap, and now we're going to attach it evenly on the page. And there we go, and this is the beginning of our page. So we're going to hold off on covering the these outside covers, and we're going to work on the inside just because we're going to be moving this around a bit. So the first section we're going to do is this first page, and this is going to be, I call it a trifold. So I'm going to open this guy up. And he has opens, so I call it trifold, and then a pocket. And then it does have a magnet closure on it. So that's what we'll be working on next. The trifold page takes 3 pieces of cardstock. I've already scored, so you can see I have a 1/2-inch score line on both sides. I'm going to need to trim off except for the bottom piece, as they're going to be my tabs for my pocket. And then I have these 2 pieces as well that are going to attach to the sides. Now all my measurements for cutting the papers and scoring and all that is on my tutorial, written tutorial, which you can find on my blog. The link is listed below. So we're going to first cut our 2 sides off. From the pocket score line. So we got this large score line, these 2 are equal, and then this pocket. So from the pocket, we're going to trim, and it's hard to see. I might just cut it with my scissors. It's harder to see without it being closer to me. So I'm just going to follow the line. There we go. Now when I get to the pocket, I'm going to angle my cuts. So I'm going to stop right there. Oops. And then I'm going to cut it at an angle from the corner. And then I'm going to angle this piece right here up to that score line. And this is going to make me a little tab. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I did the other side. And then with the short sides, we have that score line again, and we're going to cut out an angle from the score line out from the score line, and I'm meant to say inward. I'm going to do that to both of them. Score line inward. There. And it's going to make our tab. Okay, now I have all my tabs taped. For this side, I'm going to flip it over. We're going to fold this guy down. Score. We're going to fold this one up. So the short guy gets folded up. His 2 tabs get folded inward. I'm going to flip this over just to run my bone folder. Flip it back. And then this guy is going to get attached like so. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my tape and attach my pocket. Now I have my pocket. So these two guys on the sides, I'm gonna fold. I'm folding the tab in and then just running my bone folder. These guys are going to get attached to the back side and folded inwards. So we're going to essentially attach it while it's folded down to give it that little bit of space it's going to need for folding. So again, I'm going to put it down first. I'm going to have this at a 90-degree angle at the first site. I'm going to even it because it's just a smidgen smaller. I'm going to just even it out top to bottom and then fold it down. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. We're going to lay it on top. We're going to make sure it's even at the top and bottom. Actually, I'm going to move this guy up open. Top to bottom. And then fold it to the back side. Perfect. Then I'm going to run my bone folder over it to make sure everything looks good. Fold them. And there is our piece. Now I'm going to add tape to just the back side of it. Okay, so we're ready to attach our trifold to our first page. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I already cut out my cardstock for the front cover. I'm going to say most of the mats are going to be using the ATG as my adhesive, except for anything that's going to be holding something. So this guy is holding this up, so this is going to be taped. I always like to have a 1/8 inch border all the way around. So I cut it 1/8 inch less. And then this guy is going to get attached to the top. Like so. I'm going to bring it down just a bit. In this place you can put, like for this guy right here, I did a cutout and then put a little piece behind it. For this one, I have these cute little sunflower strips from the paper. I'm going to attach right there. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add an extra piece of tape to the back of this. I want to make sure it stays because it's going to have going to be covered in paper, and then if you want to add pictures, we want to just make sure it is strong enough to stay in place, and that's why I put tape on this as well. So make sure I have it going the right direction first, and then I'm going to attach it. I'm going to move this down so I can make sure I can see that. Here we go. And now it's ready for matting. So the mats that I have for this guy, I've already cut out. So I have this green polka dot for the front. When I open this up, these sides right here, I have some red with some sunflowers. Inside is going to be just a solid green. Then I have some yellow cut out, and then the pocket is going to also be that green polka dot. So again, everything's cut, so it's a 1/8 inch shorter, and then smaller than the size of the pages. And I inked in black oxide for all the edges, and then I'm going to I'm going to go ahead and attach off camera, and then I'll show you what it's like when I'm done. Okay, before we move further, we do need to attach magnets. So I have my two pieces that are open. So we're going to go ahead and place a magnet in the middle with a piece of tape. That's just so it makes sure it stays. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Next, we're going to go ahead, this is how I do it. I put a piece of paper. It helps it release when you attach it. I put a little piece of tape on the opposite side of the magnet. Remove the tape backing. And then close my flap for my magnet placement. And then I can grab the piece of paper that I have in there and pick it up to make it easy to release the magnet. And then I'm going to add another piece of tape to this side. Perfect. And then I'm going to finish covering. And I finished my matting. And now it's ready for decorating. And then I have a little tag for my pocket. I haven't matted yet. But there we go. And then at the end of the video, I will show how I decorated everything. I have this little piece of paper I cut out. And this guy's going to get here. And then there's some stickers from the collection. For decorating, and I'm going to use this sticker right here. I'm going to put here. So again, at the end of the video, I will go through all the pages and how I decorated them. For this pocket, we have a tag, and then I just have a little mat here I'm going to finish up with. And then I added this cute little sticker, which is hard to see with the light. And there it is attached. And then that pocket is done. The second part of the page is going to be our accordion page. This is our background sheet for it. And the accordion is 2 sheets, one long, one smaller. And this one has 2 score lines. So we're going to go ahead and score or fold on the score line. And then we're going to fold on the 1 score line on the second sheet. This we're going to taper the corners. So we're going to go from this score line inward. We're going to do the same thing on this one. And then we're going to add our tape. With the tabs, we're going to go ahead and add tape to them. Then we're going to go ahead and attach. So before we attach, I'm going to run my bone folder over the crease one more time. And we want the tab on the left side of the long sheet. And we want this tab also on the left side, and we're going to attach it. So we're going to attach it evenly to this edge. So I'm just going to turn it so I can see my edge. I'm going to have it flush on the edge in the top and bottom. Like so. And we're going to attach our mat to our piece. I'm going to attach this first before we attach our accordion piece. I think I'm going to mat my accordion piece before I attach it. So let me do that. I'm going to add an extra ATG. Again, any piece that's going to have something on it, I prefer tape so it can hold it. And this piece is going to be, have an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Like so. For the mats, I've already cut them out. So I did 2 solids and 1 pattern. So the pattern will show the first front flap and then the front flap on both sides. And then again, a pattern and 2 solids. So I'm going to go ahead and attach those to my accordion off camera and then attach it to the book when we're done. Again, all the measurements are on the tutorial and the link for the tutorial is listed below. Okay, I finished the accordion and I decided to put my pattern in the middle. And of course you can have all pattern papers or all solids. I like how this looks. And this is so cute. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take off my paper and attach this, and we're going to attach this right in the center. So I'm going to start off on the side that doesn't have sticky. I'm going to move off camera just for a second so I can see my placement. And lift up, and then I'll put a piece of paper right here to cover my edge. But that is cute, and that is our second part. For the third section, I'm going to show you how we did it on this one. It's a waterfall page, so the flap goes down, and then it has this cute little waterfall. So that's what we are going to be building next. The waterfall consists of 1 long piece and 3 even pieces, 3 smaller pieces. The long piece has 1 score line. And then these have tab score lines on them. So we're going to go ahead and just fold first. Folder. And for all 3 of these, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold on the tab line. We're going to taper the corners. And we're then going to add a tape to the tab. So repeat 2 more times. The third piece, you want to make sure that the tape's on the opposite side. So for these 2, they're on the, we'll call the mountain side, and the third one is on the valley side. So this valley piece is going to get flipped and attached to the top of this piece. So this is our, let's start with this. This will attach to the top, and this will close. For the third flap, you're going to want to add the tape to the opposite side. So for 2 of them, they're going to be on the mountain side, and the third one's going to be on the valley side. So the valley side is going to get attached to the top of your main piece just on the back side, and then it's going to close down. So I'm going to go ahead and attach it. I like to put it right up against that score line and make it even. I'm going to go ahead and close it as well. Make sure it's even on both sides because this is going to be our first flap of our waterfall. And then attach. Alright, I'm going to also run my bone folder across the top. Okay, so the next one is going to go attach ½ an inch down, and then this one's going to get attached another ½ an inch down. So we're going to use the ruler for this one, the ½ inch mark, and we're going to make sure that we're even on both sides. And I'm going to have to turn this around so I can see it better. So I'm just flipping this upside down so I can see it better. Lining up my ruler for the straight edge. Lining up my piece. Make sure it's even on both sides. Make sure it's even at the top. So I have that ½ inch between the top one and the second one. Run my bone folder. Run my bone folder. And now the next one, we already have a line to go by. And again, I'm going to turn this upside down so I can see it better. I'm going to go flat up against that tab right there. So I went flat up against the tab line. Run my bone folder. Open, run my bone folder. Now I have all of my flaps and we're ready to mat. So I've already cut out my mats. So let me do that. So for the very front area here, I have red mat and then a couple of polka dotted paper, and then this piece came from this is a cutout from the collection. I'm going to move that, and then I wanted to make it every other piece for the color scheme. So I'm going to do that for the front. So I have every other color for the color scheme. And then for the opposite side, I have every other color, but with the bees and the honeycomb. And there's 3 at the top, and then this one will be down here. So I'm going to do that off camera, attaching these guys. And again, all the measurements are on the tutorial. And before I attach those, we're of course going to attach the main background piece. I made it the same color, and then I cut out an extra piece, and that's just going to go right in the middle so it all flows. So let me add tape to this. So I'm going to attach our mat for our third section. And I'm going to attach our strip. There we go. So this page will require a magnet, so we're going to go ahead and attach one. Let me get a piece of tape ready. And we're going to attach one to the front cover. Just checking the placement. That looks good. And so then I taped it about there. Then I close this guy up, put the magnet on top, and add another piece of tape. And that's how I made my magnet closure. And now I'm just going to mat everything and then come back to show you what it looks like. And then we're going to tape the full back of this, and then we're going to attach it just like that. All right, it's time to attach. So we're going to attach straight in the middle, center, and I'm going to lower it so I can see. Get that. Oh, I'm off. There we go. So then I attached it, and I have added my pieces. So if you wanted to add extra stickers and stuff, you can do that. So that's 3 down, 1 more to go. For the last page, it is just a pocket piece. So we are going to make the pocket. It's just 1 piece of cardstock that's scored, and then I have my background piece and then my mat. So on the 3 score lines, we're just going to fold on all 3 in the same direction. And then I need to cut the corners off. So you see the line. So we're going to cut at an angle and then continue the angle. So I'm cutting the corner off. Angle, angle. And then I'm going to cut the other 2 at an angle as well. I call that tapering. And now we have our pocket piece. So I'm going to turn it around and put tape on it. Tape on all 3 tabs. Okay, so for the pocket, I have it all taped up. And we need to put our mat on first. With a 1/8 inch border. And then I do like to take my bone folder and run it on the creases. Alright. I like to do the sides off first and then attach like so. So when your pocket piece goes in, it's easier. It doesn't get caught as much. Alright, then we're going to attach the pocket at the bottom. Alright, there we go, and I just need to make my tags and mat those. And then we'll cover these two. For the inside, I cut out my pieces, but before I attach them, I'm going to want to add magnets to have this close, make sure that it's even, because your pages can get wonky a little bit when you start putting more stuff in it. So we definitely want to make sure this is even. So we're going to go ahead and attach our magnet. We're just going to put it lower than where this magnet is so it doesn't affect it. So we're going to go ahead and lower that. Put the next one on top, add a little piece. I should have put a piece of paper in between that. So let me take that off. It's just, I find it easier to remove when there's a piece of paper. I'm going to actually stick that up some. Remove that tape. And then when we close it, we want to make sure that the pages are even. So I'm closing it very carefully. I want to make sure that it lines up smooth. So we have a smooth, flat surface. I'm going to take my paper off. There we go. So now I have a placement. I'm going to go ahead and tape that down and then cover it. For the front and back covers, I made them not identical but similar. So I have the same pattern of paper, but what I did was I found a sticker that I liked. So I like this Queen Bee one, and then have some papers to add to it. So I just cut out just some pieces, and then I want my Queen Bee to stand out, so I'm going to prop it onto that, and that's how this one's gonna go. And then I like this Life is Beautiful, so that one's gonna be put on this yellow, and I'm going to do something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and attach everything and show you how I did that. And then this is the mock-up one that I did. So it's the same ordeal, darker, and then some light colors, pieces, and then a focal point. So I did that for both sides. I need this relatively flat because it's going to go in that pocket piece and get pulled out. So nothing, no chipboard, nothing too thick on the front covers. And the same thing with the inside covers. We're going to want that as flat as possible as well so it closes smoothly. And here is the front cover and the back. So we need some accent pieces there, maybe something here, and then some stickers here to finish this booklet up. All right, so now it's time for the finishing touches, which is the spine area. So I had cut out a piece of paper for the spine, and then this little strip with some cute little words on it. I'm going to do the same thing for the other album. Then I have the same paper, and I'm using that for this little area as well. And then the last bit inside is anything you want to decorate with stickers and mats and stuff. I added some stickers here. And then we have our tag. So I cut out a mat for the tag, and then I cut out these little Hello Sunshine from the paper collection, and I'm going to attach it to the top and put it right there. So let me get this finished up, and then if you wanted to add strips here you can, or if you add something here you can do that as well. There's a couple of little stickers and cut out parts that's real small that will fit right there for you. And here is it being finished. There's the spine, and then here's the front section, and then the tag on the inside. This portion of the video is to show you the entire album, including the second page that I completed, which is right there, and any details that I might have added that you might want to take a look at. Still nothing on the back page. So we're going to go ahead and open it up. And here is our 2 removable pages. Let's go through this one first. This is the second page that I made off camera. And we're going to go ahead and open it up. And here is the trifold page, the tag, the accordion page, and then here's a detail right here, just a strip to cover that tab up. And we have our waterfall page, still plenty of area for pictures, and then any details or stickers that you might want to add. And then this is just our pocket page. And I'll show you the first book that we just made, just in case you missed any details that I might have added. So I added this cute little sticker. I didn't add anything on the accordion. These are big areas for photos, but if you wanted to add something in the corner, you can. And then the back, and then that strip again, the waterfall, and then the pocket. And then I've added the cute little sunflower stickers. And that concludes our album. This is the Detachable Pages mini album, double page. And then, like I mentioned earlier, you can have it attached to the covers, or you can attach it to just the spine. All right, that concludes everything. If you want the written tutorial, it's on my blog at www.webofcreativity.net. Thank you for watching.